Leftist Twitch streamer Hasan Piker has had his share of anti-Semitic remarks, like this one here on about October 7th. Watch.
Even if there was multiple rapes that took place on October 7, this does not change anything for me in this dynamic.
So now he's getting subpoenaed by the DOJ for a trip to socialist Cuba. Joining me now is Republican Congressman from Florida, Randy Fine. Great to have you here, sir. Hasan Piker, he has now been subpoenaed here by the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control over this trip that he went to in March to Cuba. Now, Hasan claims that it was a humanitarian mission, that he was delivering supplies. Federal investigators now, they're looking into whether this visit actually did violate U.S. sanctions on Cuba. Do you believe that it did, sir?
Well, I do, and I think it brings up a much greater point, which is the influence of foreign money in the United States. It appears that this trip was funded by Chinese interests. It appears that many of these quote-unquote influencers that we see out there are funded by foreign interests that are simply trying to divide us as a country, to tear us apart from within, because how better to beat the greatest superpower in the history of the world than if you can get it to fight itself. So I'm glad the Justice Department is doing what it's doing. This guy should be in jail.
How do we stop that from happening? To your point about the foreign interests being dropped into the U.S., how do you stop that?
Well, we need more transparency. We need it in influencers, we need it in social media, and we need it in protesters. What Democrats have been able to do is weaponize things that people look at through a certain lens. You see 100 people on the street protesting, you assume it's regular citizens that must be worked up about something. Right. You find out they're being paid, it changes your perspective. The same thing with an influencer, someone with a big audience, you assume they must care about something. You find out they're paid, it changes your perspective. We need to eliminate this weaponization by forcing the exposure of the money.
And to your point with that, I mean, you give these agitators that are going outside of, say, the Ice Age facilities. But I mean, if they're being paid and then the media goes and covers this and then it's splashed all over the headlines, I mean, there should be some due diligence there on the reporting of this.
Well, I think a lot of those media outlets know that it's paid. They don't care because it feeds a narrative. And they're basically in cahoots with those who are funding it. So they know someone's funding it. It creates good optics for the message that they want to push. And then they push it out there as though, oh, these are innocent civilians that just are very, very passionate about this. Right. One of the greatest threats we have, and Piker's a great example of this, is this foreign money. Influencers, protests, in social media, we have got to get to the bottom of it, and I'm working on it in Congress.
Yeah, and Piker he posted this video statement here along with Code Pink, who he went on this Cuba humanitarian mission with. Watch.
It's not great. The news is not great. I mean, it's bull. They're after your boy. They're up my. Free me. Free me.
Basically, we want to help save babies. And that, according to Trump, is something that must be investigated, because how dare we want to help the Cuban people? Don't investigate us for trying to save Cuban babies. Investigate yourselves for what you're doing to kill Cuban babies and make lives of the Cuban people miserable.
Congressman, I mean, you watch this video, but it's that point. You use social media, use videos like this to get the message out.
Yeah, and look, Piker's basically admitting that what happened and he did it, and he's worried about it. Code Pink harasses us on the Capitol all the time, and they are clearly paid by the Chinese to do it. This is not okay. American politics should be for Americans only, not these foreign, Chinese, Turkish, wherever they are. They need to stay out of our politics.
Well, keep up the good work there, and we